Hi, it's Mike Bellevue, the old duelist, and I'm out here at Duelist Den. And this is just a little freebie video, just to communicate with you. It's not going to be about guns, per se, just a little bit about life. You know, I've been doing this YouTube stuff for about 10 years now, and it's kind of like we have a conversation. And I know it must seem mostly one way on my part, but yeah, I get over 100 comments and emails every day, so I feel like I get plenty of conversation back from you guys too. And I feel like I've gotten to know you over the years. So I just want to share a few observations of the season. It is mid-fall 2020 right now. And I think I've told you before, I live in York County, Pennsylvania. Though originally I'm from far northern Vermont. I grew up on a little dairy farm there, and then we moved to a small town in southern New England before I ended up here in Pennsylvania, which I do love. And here in York County, I live in the northern end of the county, which used to be very rural when I moved there, and the suburbs have caught up to it. So I live in a mixed suburban rural part of my township. And Duelist Den is in the southern part of the same county, and amazingly this year we've been having a drought at the end of the county where my house is. Very dry. In fact, we just maybe broke it a little bit 2 days ago when we got Tropical Storm Delta, remnants of Hurricane Delta, that came through and dumped 2.5 inches of rain at my house. But here in the southern part of the county, we've not been having a drought. In fact, we have had abundant rainfall. And after that tropical storm going through, Duelist Den is actually pretty sloppy wet. But while I was coming down here, this area that the den is in is farming country. It's very rolling hills. And the area where it's too hilly, like here at the den, it's forested. And then, you know, where the hill's not too much to run a tractor on, it's all farmland. So I drive through a lot of farmland to get here. And the soybean harvest is on in full force right now. And corn is ripened. They'll be harvesting that quite soon. I haven't seen much of it harvested around here, though at my end of the county they've harvested quite a bit already. But they're out cutting soybeans right now. A lot of the fields are cut. And it really made me feel grateful that I live in the country. And it's not that I haven't lived in the city. I lived, when I first started my working career, I lived for 5 years in Philadelphia or the Philadelphia area. And I gotta tell you, that was horrible. For me, just horrible. I could feel all 3 million of those people breathing down my neck. But if you're a city person, you like it, that's fine. You know, everybody likes something different. But I just feel great at this time of year living in the country. You just feel connected to it. You're connected to how you continue to live, right? You see your food grow. You see the people harvesting it. It's hunting season right now. Maybe I'll get a deer this year. Maybe I won't. Either way is good. My friends have already gotten some. So it puts you in touch with nature, and I really like that. And I think it's very important. Now, for me, you might have noticed there's a lot of snow on the roof here now. You know, in the 10 years or so I've been doing this, I started off as kind of a middle-aged man, and now I am officially a senior citizen. And what happens when you're a senior citizen is a lot of your friends step on a rainbow and go, you know, go meet their maker, right? And that's certainly been happening to me. And it really gives you cause for pause. Makes you think about your life. And I know it's kind of surprising that I'm still around. A lot of my friends were very healthy, very conscious of their lifestyles, and they're dead as doornails. And as you might notice, I'm kind of a large individual. And in fact, I'm sure you've noticed, because I get comments from you, a lot of well-meaning people, I'm sure, who think perhaps it has escaped my notice that I'm fat. And if only you would inform me in a comment, you could change my life. Because apparently I'm incapable of looking in a mirror and discovering that I'm a large individual. So thank you for that, but I'll be quite honest with you, I know I'm big. And I go up and down, you know, this has been the bane of my adult life, but there you go. And for some reason, I'm still around and pretty darn healthy. Go figure. Right? There's no fairness in the world. I'm sure some of you will be eating your granola and go out and take a jog and drop dead tomorrow, and I feel bad for you. But I'm still here and I'm glad. And that's kind of amazing because in my family, what kills them is cancer. All of them on my father's side. Everybody dies by age 65. Everybody. Of many different kinds of cancer. So I went my whole life thinking 65 was going to be it. And 65 has come and gone, and I'm still here. So every day on this side of the grass for me is a bonus, right? I'm still here and I'm loving it, and I'm doing what I love doing in a place where I love doing it. You can't ask for more than that. And I guess, you know, this year's been an odd year because of the whole coronavirus thing. And I don't want to get political. I don't want this site to be about politics. Never did. But I'm going to say something about this whole coronavirus thing. And it is what it is, right? Coronavirus can kill you. Now, mind you, it only kills half of 1% of the people who get it. Even if you're over 70, it only kills 4% of the people who get it. But coronavirus can kill you. However, lots of things can kill you. And the one thing that I am certain of is that I am going to die. So is it going to be coronavirus, or is it going to be cancer, or is it going to be a car accident? Which is like my best bet. My doctor told me that if nobody shoots me or runs me over, I am undoubtedly going to die of either cancer or a heart attack. And that my odds of dying of that are phenomenally higher than they are of dying of coronavirus. And yet, my state government is treating me as if I should be locked up and the key should be thrown away for my own good. And I happen to totally disagree with that. I'm certainly going to die, but until I'm dead, I don't want to stop living. And I feel like that is kind of what we've done. We've taken a very poor risk analysis look at this. Frankly, every time I drive to Duelist Den, I have a better chance of dying behind the wheel than I do of catching coronavirus and dying. And in my entire life, this pandemic has been going on now for a good 6 months here. 7 months, 8 months. I only know 4 people in my life who have even had coronavirus. And none of them live closer than 250 miles to me. And they are all in their 60s and 70s, and they all recovered just fine. So, like, how scared am I supposed to be of this coronavirus? Now, if you've had it and it's been awful, I sympathize with you. If you've lost loved ones, I understand. You know, but I'll tell you what, I've lost loved ones in car accidents, but it doesn't mean that I think driving should be banned. I make a risk assessment every time I get behind the wheel that says I know I could die, that some drunk driver could plow into me, not, you know, totally not my fault. I could die. I could have a mechanical failure that causes me to crash into a tree. I could die every time I get in the car. And yet it's still worth it for me to drive, because it would take me 2 days to walk here to Duelist Den from my house to do filming. Right? I mean, that truck of mine provides a trade-off of risk and utility to me. And it's kind of the same thing with living your life in coronavirus. And I don't think we can close down all the schools and keep kids locked up and all the people that are committing suicide because of depression from not being able to get out, and all the harm to the economy from people who can't work. All all imposed by people who get a paycheck whether they work or not, you know, like our governor. I just think that's wrong. And I think we really have to open our eyes to that. And like I say, we're all dying. And luckily nobody knows what it's going to be from, but I can guarantee we're not getting out of this alive. And if you're in a high-risk group for coronavirus with comorbidities, which I have, well, then you take precautions, right? You know, don't go in big crowds. Don't go around anybody who's not wearing a mask. Don't get any closer than 10 feet to somebody. Okay, fine. But everybody shouldn't have to do that. And I think we should have some personal responsibility in that. And that's my belief. Because I believe you have to live life, not hide from dying. And that's all I've got to say. So I'm sure some of you will be unhappy to see this video, and others will be happy. Feel free to send me all the comments you want. I got big shoulders. But I just wanted to get that off my chest. So next time you see me, I'll be shooting something.